Do you want to learn about how to set up a live video studio in your home? Well, we are going behind the scenes with my guest today, Mike Morrison from the Membership Guys. He has done an amazing job building out his video studio and live video studio in his home. And we're going to take you behind the scenes. It is, of course, Tech Tuesday. So we're going to get all geeky. And don't you worry, we have links coming your way for all of the awesomeness. Plus, if you're a Streamer Accelerator member, you guys are going to get a full deep dive of his behind the scenes studio build out, a map, a diagram, all the works. So that's coming to you guys in Streamer Accelerator. And very important, we are also going to geek out about how he used his live video studio to actually run a very successful live virtual event on Facebook. He had all the bells and whistles. He was doing an amazing job, and it really brought in a lot of business for him, also engaged his community. And so we're going to talk about how his virtual event went, because when you have a video studio or a live video studio set up properly, you can use it for all the things. YouTube videos, webinars, live events, live video, like anything you can imagine. You can do course videos with a proper live video studio setup. So that's what we're going to geek out about today, since it is Taco Tuesday. If you're new around here, please do type new in the comments. I would love, love, love to meet you. And if you are new, then guess what? You don't know me. Hello, I'm Larry Petrucci from Live Streaming Pros, where we help you create professional live video that is uniquely you. And today, my guest joining us is Mike Morrison from the Membership Guys. So happy to have you.
Hey, Lauria. I'm really happy to be here, although I'm a little bit nervous because you're talking about what a great job I've done with the studio, but I'm mega neurotic about it not being right. Like, literally every time I walk in here, I think, should the Freddy Krueger figure be on the right side or the left side? Like, is that going to totally be a game changer? Like, I'm still not kind of happy, I think, with the final product. So it's quite nice to have my neuroses challenged a little bit.
Well, look at that, guys. I mean, leave a comment in the chat room. Y'all think that's pretty darn awesome, do you not? And, you know, I posted something on Instagram recently about that. Perfection. We're always trying to get a perfect studio. But, you know, during the countdown timer, I was talking about how this is a brand new set piece and it's not finished by any means. Like, I've got lighting to put here. It's always a work in progress. So you can't, you know, we all have that neuroses, right? But we're always like, it's not finished, but it'll never be finished. And that's the beauty of a set design.
Exactly. And I think for us, because it kind of took us quite a while to get here in terms of our, not just live video setup, but just our video setup overall. So we've kind of had to learn that you need to compromise, especially with the sort of setup we have, where we want this same space to be used for live video, for recorded video, for podcasting. Like, I record my podcast in this seat into this mic with my Rodecaster. Like, just having it here and done is worth kind of whatever I might feel the trade-off is in terms of you know, the studio not being like 100% how I want it to be.
And honestly, you waited a while before tackling this project. I've been on you for how long? Wow, it's years now. It is genuinely years. And you know, the thing is, it just kind of clicked into place, honestly. And I've got to preface this by saying this isn't a plug. I know you do a lot of stuff with Ecamm and stuff like that, but genuinely, I used Ecamm when they very first brought it out because I saw the little ad from the call recorder and I didn't like it. I kind of thought it didn't suck, but you know, it just it was pretty basic at that time.
It was very, very basic, and I had to use it for a live event that I was taking part in, and reluctantly installed it and started using it. And after about 5 minutes, I kind of had that light bulb of, listen, I've got no excuse now. I
Yes.
literally have no excuse. All the little bells and whistles, all the little extra touches, all the flourishes that I kind of feel, you know, if we're going to do video right, I need to have all them. They're all so easy to do. And it did just kind of click into place where, yeah, I was just sold 5 minutes using your cam. And then I, of course, went straight over livestreamingpros.com, what's the gear list, and then blew up the credit card in basically just buying everything you guys told me to buy. And this is it. This has been my pandemic project this year.
I love it. This is, so I didn't even introduce you properly. I was about to, and then we started geeking out. It's Taco Tuesday, so that makes sense. But let's get you a proper intro before we get too geeky. But we are going to go behind the scenes. He's got a behind the scenes cam. He's going to show you guys around the gear and the behind the scenes set and all of that. And then we'll talk about the virtual event that he ran and how well that went and what he did. And I've got some video to show you. So Mike actually is from the membership, guys, where he helps you plan, build, and grow your membership. And memberships are something that are key to recurring revenue. I mean, this is what you guys teach. Like, it is massively important in your business to be able to have recurring revenue, and memberships are one of the best ways to do so.
Yeah, without question. We eat, sleep, breathe memberships. Even going so far as Callie and myself, we met technically in a membership. It wasn't like Tinder or anything like that. It was a business networking membership.
Okay.
We met back in 2011 now. Through essentially what was an online membership. So it was fated that this is what we do. And it just so happens that, you know, we love it because we truly believe that, you know, success is all about living a life of your own design, and that memberships are the perfect business model to give you the freedom and the flexibility and the fulfillment that lets you do that. And not only the fact that we get to do that, that obviously gives us a great deal of enjoyment, but helping other people to do that as well. Like, we shouldn't be able to do this for a living.
I know, right? It's kind of crazy.
Exactly.
But we do, and you get to do that. And I have learned so much. So we have a membership called Streamer Accelerator. And honestly, Mike is the guy I go to anytime I have a question or a problem, and he's helped me. And I haven't even followed like most of his advice, to be fair. Like, it would be even so much better if I had followed all of his advice. But you know, I've been hacking it together over the years, and if I had started with my membership and followed your instructions, I would be so much further along than I am now. So I think that that's, you know, key, because what I love about you guys is how you focus on engagement and engaging your audience. Not necessarily a super engaged membership, because that may not be what you're looking for, but the engagement process from onboarding to, you know, the whole process of what your membership offers. So I love that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad that, you know, you basically mirror me. Like, you've been having to harass me for years to actually do the video stuff right. And so it's very kind of you to admit that we kind of balance each other out that way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I've been a member of the membership guys for a long time. And I think I may not be active at the moment, but I need to I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, where did my membership? I don't know if I'm paying anymore. I changed my card. So I'm like, wait, hold on.
I'm a member of yours.
Yes,
What's
you
going
are.
on here?
I don't know. I need to get active. Come on, Luria. Bad Luria. And yes, memberships will even be more relevant in 2020. Very good thought process from you, Adam, because going into in 2021, I think is what, well, they became more relevant in 2020. And in 2021, it'll continue to be even more relevant because people are recognizing how vital it is to have that recurring revenue, and how to control, and the need for controlling your own business instead of just being at the whim of a business out there that you're a part of. So
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So shall we get geeky?
Let's do it.
Okay. So you guys can see his background. This is, of course, the first thing that you see. And as somebody mentioned earlier, there's so much to look at, which is one of the benefits of a background like this. I call it a personality-based background. Where this is Mike. He's super like into all of this stuff. So walk us through the background a little bit, and then we'll get into the gear that you use.
Okay, do you want me to get the cam and walk through it, or should I try and talk things through?
For the background, let's talk through what you got back there that we can see.
So there's a bit of me and there's a bit of Callie, because Callie is the other half, many would say the better half of the membership guys, myself included. So there's a little bit of both of us in there. So let's hang on. I'm watching myself back to get the thing.
Oh, that's so hard. I'm always pointing like.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got everything. We've got Venom. We've got Freddy Krueger, which is my favorite of all the little figurines and little toys there. It's just a really awesome little model, and there's a few little Jason heads. We're big fans of horror movies, so we've snuck him in there. I had to put an award we won for the podcast up next to Freddy, so he had something to hold on to, because he kept falling over during the lives because his head is very big. It's very big and very heavy. So there were 3 or 4 lives where he just decided to take a header off the shelves. But yeah, we got loads of the little things like video game stuff. They've got the Millennium Falcon kicking about there. Usually, if Callie and I are doing this together, I'm usually over here. So you see that. Yeah. Let me bring the mic over, because So you see the central panel more than the other two. So we've got our little custom bobbleheads in the middle there, which are, positioned on the same sides that we sit. We've got our books. We've got a couple of kind of like cups with our illustrations on them that some of our members sent us. And just lots of little Ninja Turtles, and I think that's Mario and Princess Peach being jealously watched by Luigi up there. And then all the little Funkos of just random stuff that we like. This up here is like my favorite new edition. It's a Lego Nintendo with a working TV that has like the crank that you turn that like makes Mario jump along the blocks and all that sort of stuff. So it's just lots of really kind of geeky, nerdy stuff.
Yeah. And all of it, like all of it's personality based for either him or Callie, but also you have some like spices of your brand, right? So you have the book that you have right in the background that you can see when both of you are on together. You have the we love our membership guys sign, right? Or our membership or academy members. I can't even read apparently. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so you're like putting in your brand, where I think a lot of people get that wrong, that they have to like be on brand at all times, where you can actually kind of have a combo of both. So
totally. I was going to say the little baseball cap with the logo on as well, which again most people won't necessarily be able to pick that out, but
put it together,
it's like our business is part of what we do. Like we love our business, we love horror movies, we love video games. Like it's all us, and so kind of having the blend of the two.
David wants to know, where did you learn the LED lights?
Where did I learn?
Wow, just
have I not kissed up enough?
I know, come on now. Didn't he say that in the beginning?
Yeah, I don't like them.
Oh.
I'm not a fan. The reason being, I didn't realize, it didn't occur to me just how prominent they would be in the shot, like how far down they would come. I did really want to have them, I want to have them behind everything, but they just don't cast off enough light. And they devour batteries. They absolutely devour. They're 3 AAA batteries per light. Like I'm spending like $100 a month on new batteries for these. It's just not right.
Because you shoot a lot of video and go live a lot. So the thing is you can actually get wired ones that like, so that aren't battery powered. So, that might be a better solution for you.
Well, that's what we've been looking at. It's just the logistics of obviously then running the wires behind the scenes and having to because this is just 3 bookshelves side by side. We can't really have any major permanent fittings in this room.
Okay.
So we've gone, the low tech 3 bookshelves next to each other route. So yeah, I've looked at every possible lighting situation.
Yeah.
And I just keep buying stuff and
something that's a challenge for sure. And this is the type of stuff that, is good to talk about. The challenges, not just the geeky awesomeness, because that is a challenge. Like lighting is a challenge. I'm having lighting issues here as well. I have a light literally hanging off. This door is a slider door, as you can see up here. And right on the edge of this, just out of frame, I have a light lighting up the background there. And then I have another light behind here, and I'm going to add some LEDs here on the bookshelf itself. I don't like that. Honestly, lighting is one of the most challenging things to creating a live video home studio setup. Yeah,
and I think that's one of the compromises I've just kind of had to come to terms with our setup, because it needs to be usable for solo stuff where it's just me like this, as well as 2-person, which that obviously affects the lighting.
For sure.
If it was just me, yeah, exactly. If it was just me, then the key lights that I've got would be closer in.
Yeah.
The camera, our camera is further away than it would be if it was just me, because we need the wider shot. There's no point in having kind of like a ring light or anything like that behind the camera, because it's like 8 feet away from where I am. So all those kind of little things where it's like, okay, well, the alternative would be having to reconfigure the setup every time.
No, and that's not a
solo
good
interview.
option. Yeah.
No. And compared to kind of the state that the live video we were doing before, where we were just running off a webcam, 90% the way there is a lot better than what it was before.
And that's one of the things that, like I said, is a challenge. And that's one of the things that we teach in our course, and then inside of our Streamer Accelerator membership, that we're always helping people fix and adjust, just because it's so unique to everybody's different situation. And so it can be, but it's totally doable. And like we were talking about before, doing something and not making it perfect is okay as well. It's okay to have it as an ongoing process. By the way, the lights actually don't bother me that we can see them. I actually kind of dig that, just personally speaking.
I'll pretend that it's intentional then.
There we go. Yeah, just go with it. Come on. Okay, so let's pull out that behind the scenes camera and get a little front of the camera action, or behind the camera action in the front. Not the back.
There we are.
There we go.
Ooh, there we go.
Let me go full screen on you. So Rodecaster Pro, that's how you're routing audio.
Yeah, and like I say, we use this exact setup, exact same locale for recording the podcast. So, had to get me one of them. Obviously, MacBook. Ooh.
Wait, hold on before you go off the Rodecaster Pro. So, are you using sound effects and stuff like that?
With the podcast, I am. Less so. I tend to run any sort of effects, any audio effects on video through Ecamm.
Okay.
But yeah, with the podcast, I've got my podcast intro kind of plugged into one of the pads. I just did we do a yearly kind of countdown of the 10 most popular episodes that year, and that's always the last episode we release every single year. And so I've got the drum roll and kind of the applause, like all that sort of stuff to make me feel like an amateur DJ. So yeah, and obviously we've got the two mics plugged in. So this is where kind of the 2-person setup adds extra wrinkles. So we've also got my mic right here, Callie's mic cast off to the side because she's not here. But Callie's voice is so soft and different in tone from me that we have to use a preamp. So we've got a FET head only on Callie's microphone. We've also had to turn. We've obviously got to have different levels for me and Callie. Callie's is muted right now. We've had to turn off noise removal for Callie's mic because the Rodecaster, because the Shure, the SM7B, or whichever way around it is a quiet mic anyway.
Yeah.
And the noise removal picks up Callie's voice as background noise. So we had to turn it off. So yeah, bless Callie. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's the Rodecaster Pro, and then you were about to go to the Mac.
Yeah, we've got our jungle of wires and stuff there.
Okay. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm doing a cable management video very soon for you guys. I think that you should probably watch that mic.
Well, but the beauty of it is because we just got this Surface, then it's okay. They're not getting in the way of anything.
That's true. That's true.
That's why we got the two
Surface.
It's a big Surface. It's just two big ass desks pushed together. So yeah, the idea was we were going to kind of drop them down that little gap between the two desks so that it looked tidier. But yeah, that didn't happen. Yeah, the MacBook Air, which I only really use when I podcast. I've got a kind of I've got one of the. It's supposed to be kind of the lap things that you raise your laptop on. So when I'm podcasting, I put that over the Rodecaster. Put the MacBook Air on top and then read my scripts. Got it. I'm not sure if this is the mundane level of detail you're wanting me to go into, by the way. So just tell me guys, when I'm getting really boring.
No, you're not boring at all. Let me know in the comments. This is Tech Tuesday. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys want him to go into that minute detail? I figure you do, but let us know. All
right, so MacBook Pro, usual stuff. Ecamm running on there, of course. Little preview monitor in the background. Usually I don't actually throw out, and maybe this is the wrong thing to do. Normally I don't have the preview TV showing the output from Ecamm or from the computer. Usually I have it showing the output from the camera. Just from the camera, so I can check the framing and stuff like that.
Okay. I always like to do the full confidence monitor where it's like the output so that I see what the audience is seeing, but it can always be personal preference.
Well, a big reason I did that, I had a little bit of a problem with the so we've got which one is that? It's the Elgato HD60S.
That's the HD60S Plus, yeah.
Yeah, because this was the pandemic project, and the unique challenge with the pandemic, nowhere had any stock of anything Elgato related or anything useful. So I got that just as a compromise because they didn't have the cam link, but it's been awesome. I did have a problem initially where it wouldn't work unless I had the HDMI going to the TV. It seems to have sorted itself out now. So there we go. Wires.
What's the stand on the edge of the desk there? That's a light.
That is the sun. That's the Ecamm, not Ecamm, Elgato.
The Elgato key light.
At a really weird angle. This used to be a bedroom, which is why there's kind of.
Oh, okay. Wait, was that like a Murphy bed type of thing?
No, that's just space for a. So I've got a little sofa in there.
Okay.
Literally, I've got sofas here that don't get sat on. They are just there to absorb the reverb.
Nice.
And I'm in no rush to throw out boxes or anything like that. I keep telling Callie it's not because I'm messy. It's to dampen the sound, right? Yeah. So I've got the everything plugged into one of these doodahs as well.
A little hub.
Yeah, the little hub.
Now, Scott had a quick question before we move on too far. I don't understand why he has the monitor with the same output as the laptop. Probably you still have that one way over there because you can see it easier from the camera without looking down.
Yeah,
right?
this exactly. So normally, we wouldn't need. That's a lot closer to the camera than it normally would be. Yeah. Normally it'd be off into the corner purely just for us to check everything before we go live. And quite often I turn it off. Usually I'll turn it off because Callie gets very distracted. Sometimes people do, yeah. Yeah, so that's only really there with the laptop output so that I can see you when we're talking.
Got it.
So that I'm not constantly kind of looking down at the laptop.
Okay.
What else?
Stream Deck.
about a day after getting this, I just regretted not getting the XL one because.
Okay, let's talk about that. Go to your main camera real quick. Let's talk about that for a second, because this is something I hear from every single student of ours that has ever bought the Stream Deck Mini. They regret not getting the XL.
Yeah. Well, this is the regular one. So this is the one with 15. Yeah. So I think the Mini's got 6, isn't it? Yeah.
I thought the Mini was anyway. Okay, yeah. There are 3 different sizes.
Yeah, I wish I got the XL. It's okay. Like I can switch profiles, so I've created all the different little hot links, but it's just not the same.
And I think that's an important thing to realize when you are building out a video studio, is that you aren't where you are going to be, right? And so where you are now is at a very basic level when you're just getting started setting all of this stuff up. And then as soon as you get used to the basics, you're going to want to do more, because I don't know of a single student who doesn't eventually want to do more and want more, like, bigger things. So we always suggest, like, buy the future proofing, so that you can make sure that you're ready to upgrade and to go bigger and better when you're ready. So
yeah, totally. It didn't take me long to really wish that I'd got the bigger one, and I can kind of make it work, but because we've kind of just started doing like recording pre-recorded video, like regular video through Ecamm, like we just record straight to the Mac through Ecamm and do production, as much of the production live as we can. Then we like, had I realized we were going to do that, I just kind of assumed that, okay, we'll do the live stuff through Ecamm and we'll do it as live, and then regular video we'll record to the to the card, and then we'll do it the way you normally do it. But yeah, that's just not how we've ended up doing it. I don't think we've even taken the memory card out of the camera since we set it up. We just use Ecamm, record straight to Mac, and it's always perfect. So had I known that, I would have definitely got the XL, because we've got a separate profile for the Academy show, which is a pre-recorded kind of news magazine show that we do. We've got the separate ones for our member Q&A, separate ones for our face, like so many facets that we just hadn't thought about. But
So Peter is asking a question, and we'll get back to the behind the scenes. Did I see a teleprompter? Do you use full script or prompts?
So that's probably a good thing to show, isn't it? Like the camera. That's our teleprompter. We run it off of an iPad. I can't seem to get a proper teleprompter over here in the UK.
Really?
Where you can actually, it just like nowhere seems to have.
No, you haven't been able to get those.
No, we haven't been able to get I would much rather have a proper one, because it's a bit of extra hassle having to
it really is.
Throw it onto the iPad. Got this silly little Bluetooth remote to record it. So in terms of how we do it, I've found myself using scripts for a lot of stuff. It depends,
but not
what
live,
it is.
Right? Like you're not scripting live.
I used a script for a live once.
Okay.
And it was too distracting.
Yeah.
It was just too distracting. So what I've found myself doing with lives is just throwing up as many bullets as I can essentially fit on one screen without needing to scroll through the teleprompter. So I've always got that little reminder directly in front of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found the like trying to stick to a script when going live really distracting. Really distracting.
Here's a quick tip from MDog. Pro AV in the UK should have teleprompters, so you might want to check them out.
This is it's keeping in mind I was looking for one like mid the height of pandemic when no one had anything
and nothing was available at that time.
Exactly. And the same kind of went for the mounting as well for the camera. So that was probably one of the hardest things to get right, because I was obviously trying to get the is it the multi mount or the magic arm, the Elgato one. Oh yeah, where it's basically it's the same pole as with the key lights, but you can mount a camera, like you mount accessories. Nowhere had those, so I kind of got one of the big poles that you use for mounting monitors, and then got the Manfrotto magic arm clamp, all that stuff. But the extra weight from the teleprompter meant that it just kept like very, very slowly, like edging down, like as tight as it physically went. And I'm a pretty strong dude, and as tight as I got the hold on that on the magic arm or whatever it's called, it wouldn't hold permanently. So
those Manfrotto arms are amazing. Like, they're
but it was just too heavy, too heavy with that teleprompter on. Because I was going off that pole, and because you're doing it side on, then that made the difference. Whereas the way I have it now, just clamp straight to the table, which was one of those kind of, why the hell didn't I think of this like 3 days ago? Like, clamp straight to the table, get the balance so that the weight is better distributed. That's
so a couple more things. So what camera is that?
It is whatever one David told me to buy. It's the Sony
A6100.
No, it's the Ace. I think it's 64.
6400.
Because it was immediately followed with well, why did you get the 64 instead of the 61? So it's a A6400 with a 30mm lens, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, on the prompters, 30mm lens is what we suggest. So go ahead and come back to your main cam. The prompter situation, if you are going to have a prompter, you must think about it differently than in a situation without a prompter. You can't use a 16mm with a prompter because it's too wide of an angle and you'll get the prompter in it. So 30s are what we recommend on so I have a mobile prompter setup that I'm building, and don't worry guys, I have videos coming out about that soon. It has a 56mm lens, which I have to get further away from in order to get my shot. But it's a better situation than the 30mm was going to be in this environment. So, it's not an exact science for every single person, but as much as possible, we do try and streamline our recommendations. Like Mike was saying, it's the one that David recommends. Well, we have the same recommendations for certain types of setups. But then sometimes, like you have to make adjustments because, that was leaning too much or whatever.
Yeah, totally. And I think that actually just finding that right positioning of the clamp, of the what's it called? The head thing that everything attaches onto.
The ball head?
Super technical. The ball head. Yeah, the ball head, of course. Just getting that right so that we could, both Callie and I, who are of different heights, could actually see the teleprompter. That was a lot of trial and error. But yeah, and again, it's what I was saying before about the compromises. Like, if it was just me shooting video, which initially it was, as we were kind of like basically trying, as I was trying to justify spending all this money on all the extra stuff. If it was just me, it would be I think the 16. I was using the 16mm lens. The camera was like right there in front of my face over my desk. But because it's the two of us, because we need the prompter, then that pushes everything further back, which means we can't sit too far away from our background, which means the lighting, like all those kind of little knock-on things that you just kind of have to compromise on, I suppose.
Yeah. So Umati, it is a Manfrotto articulating arm. The team posted a link in the comments for you guys. So, okay. There were some other questions about tech before we move on to the virtual event that you ran. Where can I find a teleprompter for my PC? Christina, you have our studio workshop. You have links to the teleprompter that we recommend in the kit inside of the workshop. So go check that out. I recommend ICANNs. They have been, for a client, I had to order a teleprompter fairly recently, and it was back ordered 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. So stuff can still be hard to get right now. In fact, I ordered another capture card myself, and it was supposed to be here, but got delayed, so like there's still a lot of delay going on this year. And then they wanted to know what the prompter remote was that you have. Do you know the brand?
Yeah, so it all came together. So the teleprompter is called Teleprompter Pad.
Okay.
I think it's listed on Amazon as all one word, Teleprompter Pad.
Okay.
And it comes with the remote.
Awesome. And here's one more thing on the prompter. Peter said, I'm using Prompt Smart Pro app on the iPad because it follows text speech automatically. Here's the thing, that works for some people, but not everybody. It does not work for me. And I think it would work horribly for Callie, but it would probably work for you. I think it's gender bias. No, but women tend to have a lower voice. And so I think it works really well on men, because everybody I know who it works well for has that deeper voice. And so this automatic following just hasn't worked for me. So these are the types of things that you have to test and see. But the good news is you can send most of everything back that you buy. Right?
And I suppose part of the problem with it having automatically follow is it eliminates any ability to improv or any ability to go off script, presumably. And we don't use that. But even when we script, the main thing we script is our Academy show, because we have a lot of ground to cover, lots of potential for missing stuff out. But we improvise, we go off script. Callie usually writes it. And so there's certain things where when written just don't fall like comfortably out my mouth. So I'll change things as I go. So I'm not sure how that would work with an auto follow. You'd kind of presumably need to stick like really, really rigidly to that script.
I go off prompter all the time, off script all the time when I'm doing a script. So
maybe that says more about us than anything else.
Randomness.
Yeah.
It works better if you do that though, if you kind of come back to it because it doesn't feel as scripted. The one thing I know from improving is that points truly don't. Oh God, why did I fall for that, John? Okay, so let's talk about this event that you ran. So you used a virtual event using Ecamm to run the entire thing. So tell us what that was all about.
Yeah, so it was the 5th anniversary of our membership community back in September. So we celebrated it with a week-long kind of live, or a week of live kind of celebrations, right? So we had all sorts. We did. We had a big welcoming party, which I think you've thrown up on screen there. Yeah, the hats. I think mine broke about 10 minutes into it. Yeah, so we had cocktails, which I made the mistake of letting Callie make. She does not know how to measure alcohol. So halfway through, I was seriously...
Very important question. Too much or too little?
Way too much. Way too much. I can handle my drink. I'm a big gruff northern lad, but man, she does not mess around. So yeah, I was buzzed like really early into this, which made for a better live session.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so we did the welcome parties. We did some training, so we did some more traditional kind of webinars where there was a lot of kind of jumping between the slides and showing examples and videos and all that sort of stuff. We kind of did a day-long replay of sessions from our live conference. So we ran a 2-day conference here in the UK back in 2019 called Retain Live. So we had a day that we called Retain Replay, which we kind of cheated at the live element. So the introduction was live. A couple of little bits in the middle were live, but the actual sessions were through Facebook Premiere, so we faked the live on that.
Well, that's fair though, because sometimes that is one great way to run a virtual event. I prefer if you can get like the engagement from the speakers to answer questions at the end and things like that. That can be really powerful. But one event that I spoke at, we did run an entire pre-recorded thing, but I had a time slot during that recorded video where I was still chatting in the chat room. So there was a little bit of a mix. And so that can work well too. There are all kinds of different ways to play it.
Yeah, and we threw in, so we did some Q&As, we did some giveaways. So one of the things
Yeah.
we did at our conference was we did a surprise release of our book. So our second book, we didn't tell anyone we were writing it.
Oh.
And so that was a big moment. So we kind of replayed that video from that moment, and then we did like a live giveaway. So we tried to thread the live stuff in and around, but that was we went from 0 to 60 in terms of how much I decided to put on my plate in terms of that live real-time production. Like, we'd gone from doing really straightforward kind of just your basic Facebook lives, camera, talk, stop broadcast, to obviously the countdown stuff. We had the confetti button. Every time we said Memberpalooza, we hit the button and confetti and a silly animation of our cat came up with the overlay. I think I stole that idea from you guys, or from David with it was Abby the Chihuahua. I think I stole that
so
from you.
our graphic designer Paul Dixon, he did that, and so anytime we get a super chat, we throw up the Abby.
I stole it from you. Okay.
Oh no, it's all
Totally.
I love the engagement.
Yeah.
It's like, it really engages. I love the confetti that threw, like, and I'm sure you got tons of comments like,
Yeah, and the drunker I got, the funnier it became to me.
Oh,
so
I'm sure.
But yeah, we were
So
doing
that's the key to an engaging conference. Get drunk.
Yeah,
Have
just get
Callie
drunk.
Make your drinks.
Yeah. But yeah, we kind of threw everything at the wall and just had a lot of fun with it, and we got a lot of people turning out, a lot of people engaging, a lot of people joining in. There wasn't any sales angle to it. There was no pitch. I think when we did the closing party, like, we got towards the end and people were kind of like, have we got the sales pitch yet? It's like, we're not doing it. We're doing this to celebrate and to have fun. But of course, we were raising visibility, we were raising engagement, we were getting sales from people who had either they were aware of what we did, but maybe they didn't have that insight into our personality or what we would be like. And this just enabled them to kind of cement in their mind the decision to come and join the academy. And they've gone on to be some of our most engaged members inside the community as well. So it's kind of paid off in that front too.
That's really cool. So yeah, I mean, and again, there are like lots of ways to run a virtual event, whether it's a paid thing or you have a call to action or it's awareness based.
Yeah.
I'm sure that as you ran it, it was beneficial to be just like, hey, let's hang out and let's connect, because of the time of the 2020 that you were doing it.
Definitely. And obviously there was structure around it. It wasn't just, turning up every night and getting drunk. During these parties, the opening, the close, we were interspersing what we were doing with kind of short birthday messages, like videos. We used video ask.
No, I don't know that one.
It's a relatively you guys will love Video Ask. It's a relatively new-ish product from the people who make Typeform.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's basically like allows people to record video responses to questions, like as part of kind of almost a survey or something like that. So they do it in app, so you can kind of line up some questions and then they record their response to it, or they can leave an audio response or what have you. So we set up something to let people create little birthday messages. So we just asked them, how has being a member of the academy helped you in your business? So we had all of these incredible like mini testimonials and a whole bunch of, really nice, kind birthday messages too. So we were dropping them in throughout the party. So of course that kind of organically promotes the academy as well. So we did have that promotional thread running through it, but it wasn't a case of let's do 4 days of value and then a day of, sales pitch like sometimes you see.
Yeah. I like the way you approached it. Somebody said, where's the super chat graphic? So unfortunately, when the super chat came from Andre, thank you, by the way, I had the camera and the super chat graphic wasn't actually active on his camera. So I did activate that. So now if anybody else does a super chat, you should see it pop up on one of these angles here. Sorry about that. And we had a question, do you do lives only, or what's your opinion on YouTube premieres?
Yeah, we tend to do lives only. So most of the live stuff we do is actually inside our membership. And we use Vimeo. So we use Vimeo live streaming for that. But in terms of public content, we've only really focused on Facebook Live. Yeah, we've not really put any attention into YouTube Lives. I think part of that for me is we used Google Hangouts and then we used YouTube Live in the early days for doing our member Q&As, and then we would just embed the live stream video inside our site. But they weren't great in terms of overall quality because this was like a few years back, before it seemed like everyone really raised the game with video. And I don't know if I've just got this association in my head of, oh yeah, we used to use YouTube and then we upgraded, then we stepped it up and we started using Vimeo. But obviously it's an entirely different ball game now, I think, with YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. It is entirely different. So is there anything we missed on the tech side with your, I don't think we did. I think
no, there's
right?
Yeah, there's the lights. So I've got the little floodlights on the floor. That's pretty much it. There's nothing beyond that. So yeah, I've got the little kind of floodlights that crazy people put outside at Christmas and stuff. We've still got the remnants of the little signs that we held up there from from the live event, the retain stuff. But yeah, I think that's it.
Fair enough. So you guys will, if you are a Streamer Accelerator member, you will get access to the whole studio look, a diagram, a map, and all of the gear listed in one place. So look forward to that. We did have a question. Do you mind answering a membership question, since that's what you do?
Yeah.
What do you use for your membership functionality?
So we, in terms of the main engine, our site runs on WordPress and we use MemberPress as our membership plugin. However, I'm a reformed web developer, I think is the best way of putting it. So actually we've got most of our site is custom now, but at the heart of it, for the actual core taking of payments, protection of content, it's MemberPress. With WordPress.
And that's what you teach inside of the Membership Academy, and through a lot of your free content as well, is the tools, how to plan it out. Like, planning is the biggest first stage. You can't just do without planning first. And so that's what you help people accomplish, is that whole process of planning, building, and then growing in that phased approach, because you got to take it in order, unlike me. So talk about where people can find the membership guys. Of course, themembershipguys.com.
Yeah, it's themembershipguys.com. It's definitely the best place to start. So even just straight from that homepage, just look at where you are on that journey. If you've maybe already got an idea, already got a plan, you just want help with the tech, we've got great content on that. If you've already got a membership, we've got a whole bunch of stuff on growing your membership, running it, getting new members, retention, all that. Literally that entire lifelong process of being a membership owner, we've got you covered. Lots of free resources, and our podcast as well, which is just a weekly dispensement of advice and tactics and all good stuff. So yeah, themembershipguys.com.
You guys should definitely check Mike and Callie out. They are awesome, and they have solid advice that you should definitely follow if you're looking to either start a membership or fix problems in your membership. And that's the thing, is that's what I love about the Membership Guys, is that it is an academy. It is a membership, because honestly, it's like video sets, because it's never ending in terms of what you need to adjust and fix and grow into as your membership goes further. So you're
that's the best thing.
Yeah.
That is the great thing about memberships. You can't get obsessed about everything being perfect, because it literally cannot be perfect, because your membership will always be evolving. It'll always be changing. So you're never done. And that's actually really freeing, because embracing that long-term evolution and the fact that you're always going to be able to tinker and tweak based on member feedback, based on observing how people are using your site. It can help you escape that perfectionism and just give you a lot of flexibility to just refine as you go. We're 5 years into our own membership. We've been deep in the trenches of other memberships for about a decade prior to this, and we're still learning. Yeah. And the great thing is about our membership is when we learn something, then...
Thank you, Rob.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you, Smart City, for the super chat.
Yeah, so the great thing with our membership, it's a case study, right? So you can learn all the stuff we teach you, but also if you just watch what we do, and if you just like pay attention when we talk about stuff that we've tried that doesn't work or anything like that, just that is worth its weight in gold. And so many of our members tell us that, like, they'll watch the courses, they implement the advice and the strategies and the tactics, but actually most of the learning they get is just watching what we do and paying attention. So it's really cool like that. Yeah.
I love that. Andre, thank you so much for the super chat as well. He likes your WWE Super Slam.
Hell yeah. We were ringside. Andre, go back on the network if you're on the network. I'm a wrestling geek. I know it's not real, but neither are the Marvel movies, right? Go back, watch SummerSlam. Yeah, watch SummerSlam 2019 on the network. Me and Callie are front row.
Whoa, really?
Ringside. Boom, that's how we got the chairs. Yeah, it's not cool. And you're using that word wrong, but it's cool if you're a big wrestling nerd.
Being front side anything is cool. Well, I mean, I guess it's a little messy potentially.
Ringside was awesome. Like, it was really, really cool. Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I used the word cool incorrectly.
No. I'm long past the point of trying to get anything on that front accepted as being cool. It's okay.
Now we're on to the wrestling conversation. Yay. How long have you been following wrestling?
Probably since I think 96 was the first time I actually watched it properly. But over in the UK, we had British wrestling. The wrestling scene in the UK was so bizarre in kind of the 70s and the 80s. It was something that kind of old grandmas used to go down to bingo halls and kind of like swing their purses at the wrestlers. Like, it was a real different kind of scene to I think what it was in the States. So yeah, we started getting a little bit of the WWE stuff over here in 96, which was my first introduction to it, and I apparently haven't grown out of it, so there you go.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Fake. What? Oh, jeez. See, this is a great example of how you can bring your personality and your passions into the conversation. See? I don't know anything about wrestling, but everybody else wants to talk about it, and that's something you're super passionate about.
That's your show now. Like, you're done. You're out. Like, this isn't live streaming pros. This is Wrestle
the Mike
Talk.
Show.
Yeah.
Just take over.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you so much for joining me today. Great conversation, great behind the scenes. You guys, if you're not following him, themembershipguys.com, definitely check him and Callie out. They've got a ton of great free content, as well as their membership is super solid. And like I said, I'm a part of it. I need to reactivate my card because that changed, but I'm a part of it.
You're a part of it in spirit.
In spirit, I will be today. I will be more reactive today. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Mike, any final words for everybody around your studio or memberships in general?
Oh, wow. No.
No, we covered it all.
Normally, that's the thing. No, normally at the end of any discussions like this, like, yeah, where did they find you? Themembershipguys.com. And then my brain's like, okay, that's done. Let's just turn off. Yeah.
I get it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mike. And I'll let you go to sleep now because it's late there.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, you guys, put on your dancing shoes because we're going to dance this baby out. All right. Bye. Say bye to everybody, Mike.